Hey everyone, it's the Omar People's Show, and we're talking about how the Democrats used to be the party of the workers, and now they're the party of Wall Street. It goes without saying that the two Democratic senators from New York, Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gellibrand, are two of the biggest Wall Street suck-up lapdog shills. Will literally suck Wall Street's dick all night long. They are the worst when it comes to the Democratic Party. They're the worst of all the horribleness in the Democratic Party, and they are the problem from which all their other problems stem, is the money that corrupts their ideas. Because people like Paul Krugman will tell you that policy doesn't matter. Policy doesn't matter for how you win. And that's obviously ridiculous because Obama won by running as a populist progressive, even though he was lying. And people like Barney Frank will tell you that you gotta go to Wall Street to get money because then you win. Otherwise, we're not gonna win. The Republicans are always gonna get more money than you from Wall Street, even no matter how big a suck-ups you are. The rich people are always gonna favor Republicans. They still just wanna buy you off, and you're just such sniveling little lapdogs. You're like, yes, masters, yes, we'll take your money, even though you're giving more to the Republicans. Yes, thank you very much. You're such weak bitches, Democrats. That's why you lost, because you compromised all your ideas. The Democrats refuse to get this. They refuse to accept the fact that they lost because they all got behind a horrible candidate. They act like, oh, it was just a fair process and the American people chose Hillary. No, the party chose Hillary and the donors chose Hillary. And do you think the Democrats are going to learn anything from this? Do you think that they're going to realize, like, maybe the American people will be willing to vote for us and even fund us to replace all the Wall Street money we would lose if we would just stop going and getting these bribes from our rich masters? Do you think that they understand that? Well, apparently not. Kirsten Gellibrand is already reaching out to top Hillary Clinton donors about the 2020 presidential race. So, yeah, guys, because it was James Comey that cost us the election. It wasn't the donors and the horrible ideas and the fracking and the horrible bullshit and the lack of Wall Street regulation and the fact that Hillary Clinton admits that Dodd-Frank did nothing, that it changed nothing. It wasn't that the reason that the people don't like the Democrats anymore. It's the fact that it was James Comey. So that's why Kirsten Gillibrand's going right back to those donors that caused the problem. So anyone who thought the Democrats learned their lesson and that it's definitely going to be not Trump that Trump will definitely lose in 2020, I wouldn't cross your fingers for that. I think that that's not necessarily a sure thing. So sources tell them that the New York senator has been personally making calls to some of Clinton's biggest backers to talk about the direction of the country. One source says she hasn't directly asking donors about her chances in 2020, but it is implied. However, while Gillibrand has close ties to Clinton's political network, the move hasn't gone down well with some of Clinton's supporters. Many of us are still grieving. It's like after the widow at a funeral. It's like going after the widow at a funeral. Wait, what? Oh, so she shouldn't be fundraising. They're saying she shouldn't be fundraising already? No, okay, of course, it's not that she shouldn't be fundraising at all. It's too early to get money from our rich billionaires. It's not the time to get bribed. You need to get bribed when you're feeling good and happy. We're all grieving still. You know, it's like you can't take bribes at a sad occasion like a funeral. It's inappropriate. Bribes are a happy occasion, like a wedding. Yay! What? That's insane. Hey, Democrats, have you ever thought that maybe instead of reaching out to big money donors who are a very small percentage of the country, maybe reach out to the 99%, the vast majority, or 99% of the country that are being screwed over by things that Obama tried to push, like TPP, or are being screwed over by Obama trying to privatize Social Security with his grand bargain. We're going to compromise and we're moderate, so we're going to cut social services for old people. How is that moderate to let old people starve? That's pretty extreme in my opinion, to let old people go without heat and die. That's extreme. That's not a compromise, and I'm Obama and I'm triangulating. Fuck you, Obama. But yeah, fuck Kirsten Gillibrand, fuck Obama. They're ridiculous. Maybe they should reach out to someone. So yeah, the Democrats have totally learned their lesson. Chuck Schumer, this idiot, said before the election where they lost horribly to Donald Trump, the worst candidate of all time with the lowest approval rating of all time, and the highest unfavorables of all time. Let's let that sink in. The Democrats lost to someone with the highest unfavorables of all time because of a strategy like this where they abandon on purpose their working class base. Chuck Schumer admitted, for every blue-collar Democrat we lose in western Pennsylvania, we will pick up 2 or 3 moderate Republicans in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And you can repeat that in Ohio, in Illinois, and Wisconsin. Did the Democrats win Wisconsin? Did the Democrats win Ohio? That totally worked, didn't it? No, Chuck. No, so how can you be that dead wrong? Man, so at least he got punished for that. At least Chuck Schumer's not the Senate minority leader or anything. The Democrats would never do something that insane. They're not corrupt or anything. No, they would do that. Because the Democrats, it's not that they're insane. It's that they're in their corrupt little bubble. Okay? And when you go out and when all you do is go out and talk to rich donors all day long because you have to get your money through them, because once your cash flow stops, your campaign stops because you have no real ideas from which to raise money, like Bernie Sanders. That is why they have to do that. They have to go to their rich, wealthy donors to suck their dicks all night and get a little bit of cash to keep their corrupt bullshit campaign going. Because you can't just run on bullshit and expect people to fund it. You have to be genuine if you expect to crowdfund like Bernie Sanders. So maybe they could take some tips. They, meaning the Democrats, could take some tips from the person who is 10 points above Donald Trump, as any good politician should be. Anyone who knows how to cut through the bullshit of all the SJW shit, cut through all the Wall Street money, all the distractions and the bullshit, and say, hey, here are a lot of positions that the American people like. I want to raise the minimum wage. I want to have universal child care. I want universal health care, single payer. It's the most efficient thing. Why are we paying $3 trillion a year rather than $1.38 trillion? That just doesn't make any sense unless all the politicians are bought by the insurance companies. Oh wait, they are all bought by the insurance companies, aren't they? So that's why we don't have it. And when you go out and say that, like Bernie Sanders, you have a little bit of a crowd reaction. You will draw crowds. People will like you. They have to put you on the news because of all the people you're attracting. They can't not cover Bernie Sanders. They tried not to. They didn't cover him nearly as much as Hillary Clinton, who was having ridiculous, pathetic rallies where no one was excited by break down the barriers. Yeah, people weren't excited by break down the barriers or first woman in the White House. People were excited by single payer health care. And I'll tell you, I need some more lemons over here. Waving my hands in the air. So yeah, why do you think Bernie was popular, Democrats? Is it because of the hair? Is it because he's so young and handsome? No, it's because of his ideas. The only reason Bernie Sanders is special is because of his ideas. His revolutionary ideas, in which the Democrats refuse to get through their thick head. Either that or the money is blocking the ideas to get through their thick head. Let's see what Bernie Sanders has to say to get some refreshment from the disgustingness of Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gellibrand, who have learned nothing.
Donald Trump won the election for a number of reasons. But one of the reasons that he won is, in my view, a failure of the Democratic Party that must be rectified. And that is why
Bernie, it's the voters' fault. It's the voters' fault. It's not Hillary's fault. The voters are fucking sexist, and they're disgusting. That's our strategy for winning them back over. We're gonna call them sexist. You're sexist. Vote for Kirsten Gellibrand in 2020. Oh, it didn't work again, and we got slaughtered again? Oh, who could have seen that coming except for everyone? Except for Bernie Sanders and every single good progressive on this fucking channel and who watches Jimmy Dore and everyone who's awakened. And I hate to use that phrase, but it's true. We need to have a political revolution, you guys. We need to realize we're being fucked. And that is a message that resonates. Once again, you are being fucked is a message that resonates. That's what Trump said, not so eloquently as Bernie Sanders. Jesus, let's let him continue. He's just the opposite of bullshit. Bernie Sanders is the anti-bullshitter.
supporting Keith Ellison for the next chair.
Keith Ellison.
The Democratic Party has got to recognize, and I now not here to blame anybody, not to criticize anybody, but facts are facts.
Not here to blame anybody. Hillary, it's your fault. It's your fucking fault, Hillary. Not here to blame anybody. You're too nice, Bernie. You're too nice.
When you lose the White House to the least popular candidate in the history of America, when you lose the Senate, when you lose the House, and when 2/3 of governors in this country are Republicans, it is time for a new direction for the Democratic Party.
It is time to take the L. You need to realize that you lost. You can't just keep saying it's bullshit, even though there are good arguments that it was bullshit because of the Electoral College. But we're not getting into that right now. Bernie Sanders mentioned that earlier. But people, they need to realize the larger reason that even with the bullshit Electoral College, and even with the Republicans suppressing the vote, Bernie Sanders still would have won by 10 fucking points. And anyone who says he wouldn't is just blind to any polls. They don't care about any facts whatsoever. So if anyone who actually cares about facts realizes that Bernie Sanders' message did resonate and he would have won, and that progressive ideas are what the American people want. You don't have to go to the candidate who's espousing them to know that. Because if you go to the minimum wage, 80% of the American people want to raise the minimum wage. You know, all the progressive ideas have vast majorities of the American people supporting them. Why is that? Because they're good fucking ideas, okay? They're good ideas. So running a campaign based on corporate money and lies is not as effective now as running a campaign based off truth-telling, crowdfunding, and just cutting through the bullshit and talking to the American people and saying, listen to me. If you give me $27, here's what I'll do for you. I'll give you universal child care so you're not paying $13,000 a year or 1/3 of your income just to pay for child care for your kid while you go to work all day and work and make less than minimum wage, or if you're an illegal immigrant, or if you work. See, many nurses make less than minimum wage through some loophole. That's a little bit of a side note, but wages are abysmal in this country. And Bernie Sanders is like, I want to raise your wage. I want to bring your job back from overseas. That is something that resonates. That is what Trump did. And Trump did it as a fucking buffoon. Someone who, imagine a great messenger. Bernie Sanders isn't even the best messenger. It's his ideas, once again. Gosh. This video is basically about how ideas matter, Democrats. It's not corporate money. And fuck all the lapdog Democrats. Kirsten Gellibrand, hear me now, Democrats. If we run Kirsten Gellibrand in 2020, we will lose. We will lose. You hear me? It's not if. Oh, no. People are tired. People are tired of this. And it's just becoming more and more obvious how corrupt they are because of people pointing out the truth. Okay? So, Democrats, feel free to run Kirsten Gellibrand if you want to lose again. But if you want to win and actually have a political revolution, you got to start listening to people who are up by 10 points. Because this is an I told you so moment, as much as you want it to not be, and be like, oh, it's because of James Comey. You're ignoring the fact that Bernie Sanders was up by 10 points. That's basically what this speech is about. I'm not here to point fingers, but we probably should have won by 10 points. Yeah, Bernie, we should have, you should have, and the Democrats shouldn't have cheated you. But it appears that they have not learned their lesson. They have made Chuck Schumer the Senate Minority Leader, and Kirsten Gillibrand's running in 2020. God help us. Oh yeah, and everyone subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and also star in a donkey show and suck a donkey dick.